Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that work. No? Okay. Here? It sounds to work. Indeed, that work. Okay. Then I put that down or... Okay, we're here. First presentation of the day, so I'm making it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Mélanie Auvray. I'm working from the European Heat Pump Association, and I'm here to talk to you about the market. In case you don't know... Okay, that's going to work. In case you don't know the European Heat Pump Association, so we are representing about 230. Here on the slide is 225. It's always increasing and moving, so it's hard to keep track, but it's around the number. We have heat pump manufacturers, component manufacturers, national association, test lab, utilities, research institutes, but also service provider to our heat pump industry. And of course, our mission is to decarbonize the heating sector. So I'm here today to present to you the data and the sales, so failing or not failing as a sector. Let's start with the context. So some months ago already, it's been a long time that we had this Net Zero Industry Act that was announced by the European Commission along with other aspects to recognize the heat pump as a key technology to decarbonize our industry. And that led to an increase of the market that we had in 2022. We had an increase of 37% of the heat pump sales between 21 and 22. However, this trend did not continue. We have a slight drop in 2023, and this drop can be explained by a lot of reasons. The key reasons is, of course, the shift of the energy prices, but also the high rates interest, the instability of the inflation, and the economic situation. So, of course, if you have a problem that is linked to the real estate world, and that the renovation project and the new project are not continuing, that affects directly the heat pump sector. Maybe if I, just a moment. So in terms of data, we have another slide that is going a bit more in the details. You may have seen that. So you clearly see that while some countries increase in terms of sales, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, and Spain, you have other countries in last year that the sales dropped out. And this is Italy, Poland, Finland, and Denmark. Now, this trend cannot continue if we have this drop that continues like we have today. We will not achieve the Repower EU target, which is 6 million heat pump by 2030. We will miss out the target by 50 million heat pump if we continue the business as usual. Another aspect that is not in the slide, but that I wanted to highlight here today with you, is our new market data for 2024. For the Q1 and Q2, you may have seen our press release that went out a week ago, and this is why I didn't have it on the slide today, because I prepared 2 weeks ago this slide. But our new market data that is in, so we have a fall for 2024, the first 2 quarters of 47%. This data is coming from 13 countries, and I will list it now while looking at my phone so that I don't mess out. So we have Australia, Belgium, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, and Switzerland that gathered their data for Q1 and Q2, and the outcome is that we have a fall of 47%. So it's 47% compared to 22. But if you if you look at the data exactly, it's still an increase of the sales. It's still going up in terms of heat pump in the market. So we have right now 24 million heat pump in the market, which is still an increase of 13% compared to 2022. But if you look at the trajectory, it's trajectory that should not be happening. We should have another 47% additionally to that we have today. Now, a bit of context regarding our value chain. So, the heat pump industry is largely based in Europe. We have 260 heat pump manufacturers and components on site, which represent more or less 60% to 73% of heat pumps that are installed in Europe, produced in Europe. These manufacturers are largely investing in Europe to meet out the REPowerEU targets with an estimation of 7 billion investments between 2022 and 2025. However, with the instability of the market, this is put at risk. As you may have seen also with the decrease of the sales, we have also layoff of jobs that we estimate around 3,000 jobs at the moment, but this also needs to be reflected and updated accordingly to the market data that we have for 2024. Now, so this slide that I almost forgot is about to show you that even though we have some difficulties on the market right now, that Europe is still the continent for which the heat pump sector, the heat pump industry is still heavily invested, and that we have a fair share that is happening in Europe. So this is why we need to keep helping the sector, supporting the sector, and especially when it comes to the EU representative, but also the national representative, need to continue supporting this sector that is heavily invested in Europe and for its competitiveness. The second half of my presentation, if I manage to move, is regarding the measures as the HPA that we recommend to strengthen the sector competitiveness. And if I move already to the next slide, this is what we presented to our new commissioners and our new members of the European Parliament. So we have 5 key recommendations for them to strengthen out our competitiveness. You may have seen this around. This is not a new recommendation. It's just that we go more in details and we explain to them. So we first need clarity in terms of direction and targets. We need consistency in our policy work. We need to make this heat pump affordable for all. We need to strengthen our industrial leadership and skills. So this is mostly the skills area that we'll see in a moment. We need to unlock the potential of our large heat pumps, which are often forgotten. And finally, we need to unlock also the heat pump flexibility that can support our energy systems. And in the coming slide, I will go point by point to tell you exactly what we mean by that. So the first point, as I was saying, we need a long-term consistent framework. So this is basically for us, the key word here is heat pump action plan, but it's not only that. What we need is a consistent and streamlined and ambitious and long-term position from the authorities at EU level, but at also a national level. What we are suggesting is that at EU level, we have the publication of the heat pump action plan. As EHPA, we have worked on a heat pump accelerator that we have published on our platform with key recommendation on how to help to strengthen the competitiveness of the sector. We have worked along with the Commission in different workshops to build a heat pump action plan based on this heat pump accelerator. That was postponed due to the elections. But as you see on the slide, some months ago already, 15 member states ask for the Commission to publish this heat pump action plan, which still has not been published. What we know from now on is that the heat pump action plan is not planned to be published until we have a new energy commissioners. And as the heat pump association, we are pushing for our new energy commissioners to publish the heat pump action plan, or if not possible, to at least publish something that reflects the sector. There is a potential aspects that can be published in an electrification action plan. I don't know how familiar you is with the EU bubble, but right now also the van der Leyen call the new or the candidate for the energy and housing commissioner to have an electrification action plan, and a possibility could be to have a chapter of the heat pump sector in this electrification plan as sector integration. The second point, important, and I would say even the most important aspects for the sector, is to solve the affordability of heat pumps. And while you have the upfront costs and the running costs, and that we talk a lot about the subsidies that are important to boost the sector. But one key point, and I would say the first point to solve, is rather the electricity price versus the gas prices. And you see a clear correlation between low energy prices, electricity prices, and the sales of heat pumps. And you see on the bottom of the this graph that when you have a low electricity price versus the gas price, that the sales increase. And you see that there is Finland, Sweden, and Norway. So for us, the key point is really in each countries, each states take and pay attention to their electricity price, and that they should not be twice more the price of the gas. The third point is regarding our skills. So this is a schema that shows you where we need to put some work regarding our skills and our engineers, installers, and any workers that are on our value chain. So it's not regarding only the installers. We need also to think about the component manufacturers and their recruitments, but also the heat pump manufacturers, the service providers, and then installers and maintenance, of course, are crucial. But we need to see this picture as the whole value chain. We need to upskill our workers, but we need also to reskill them. We, with this energy transition, we also need to use the current workers and to upskill them to the heat pump sector. And then the last points, the last before point is so regarding our large heat pumps. So while they have been recognized at EU level, and we have several studies that have been done that are below here in the slide, we have key barriers to overcome for the large heat pump so that we can use their potential at maximum. They are the key to decarbonize our industrial productions. And here on the slide, they have the 4 big barriers that we need to overcome. That is from the business case. So here again, you have the same problems that we have with the residential heat pumps, going from the subsidies, energy prices, the financial aspects, the flexibility, and the tariff that goes with the flexibility, and the energy taxation. Then you have the knowledge and the trust. And as I was saying earlier, we still don't know enough about the potential that the large heat pump may have. We need more dissemination, we need more education, more trainings. We have also in our own association a working group that is hardly working on these aspects of the knowledge and the trust. Then we have also the complex integration and the fact that they are projects that needs to be overcome. And finally, the infrastructure. And the last recommendation that I have for the competitiveness of our sector is the flexibility. we need to give value to the heat pump flexibility, and we need to have a business case there. The consumers should be rewarded and should be pushed to use the flexibility of the heat pumps, and for so we need flexible tariff. And this is it for me. I just have this slide that I need to show you is regarding our market data. So as I was saying earlier, we have this market data reports, and you will find also on our website this first value that I gave earlier regarding Q1, Q2 of 24. And yeah, this is it for me for the moment. I'm available here if you have any questions. All the information that I gave you, you can also find them in our website with the manifesto that we have and the EHP competitiveness report. So you can find all the detail. Thank you.